Hi guys, welcome to Adam McKola TV. This is MUFC Transfer Talk number 51. If you were with us earlier on today for the Timothy FOSU MENSAH stream, then thank you for joining us again. If you're back today, then of course go and check out the Timbo stream that we did earlier in relation to his pending loan move on a season-long loan deal to Crystal Palace. Today we are talking Manchester United and Gareth Bale. Now, I didn't think I'd be discussing this one again, but Jose Mourinho has been discussing the potential transfer in his press conference ahead of the UEFA Super Cup final against Real Madrid in Macedonia. Now, obviously, United have that game against Real Madrid, the curtain raiser for UEFA, and the Champions League holders will take on United, the Europa League holders, for the Super Cup. It comes a few days, 5 days before United open their Premier League action. So the serious stuff is heating up now. And Manchester United have been linked with Gareth Bale all summer. We saw Jose Mourinho bumping into him in the tunnel in America and saying, hey, you don't talk to me, otherwise I'd sign you up. We saw Gareth Bale saying that he wanted to stay at Real Madrid. And we've heard rumours that if they want to sign Kylian Mbappe, they will have to let one of their big names go. Now, could that be Gareth Bale? I have been writing it off, to be totally honest with you. I don't think this move is going to happen. I think Real Madrid will end up keeping Gareth Bale. I think it's more ideal for them to keep him than it is to sell him. I think if they were going to sell him, they would have sold him by now. It's clear that United would have interest there. We've chased Gareth Bale in the past, and I'm sure we are we're actively chasing him now. And Jose writ it off as well. He said, look, Gareth Bale's not for sale. I can't see him coming to Manchester United. But today, he has definitely changed his tune. He has said, if Gareth Bale plays in the Super Cup final, it is the clearest signal that he is staying there. He is in the plans of it would mean he is in the plans of the coach and the club, and it is in his own plans and ambitions to stay there. Then I won't even think about it. If he is not in the club's plans, and it is true that a player like Bale is at the departure gate, I will try to be there waiting for him at the other side. He is saying, if Bale is not wanted by Real Madrid, I am waiting for him with open arms to come to Manchester United. This is a clear indication that Jose Mourinho wants to bring Gareth Bale to Manchester United. Now, I'm not sure. I am guessing it is the case, hence he's making a point of his inclusion in a side. But I'm not sure if he plays tomorrow, he's then cup tied for the Champions League, and therefore his price tag would incredibly fall. So that is the big pulling factor here. And that's what Jose Mourinho is playing on. But could Jose Mourinho be saying that, look, put some pressure on this Real Madrid side, make a hassle in their dressing room, make Zinedine Zidane think maybe Zinedine Zidane wasn't going to play Gareth Bale, but he may now feel he needs to. But whatever way it is, it's very, very interesting. And let me just see. Let me have a look. I'm just looking to see what happens. Okay, if a player plays in the Super Cup, he's not even cup tied. So I don't get that one at all. I don't get why Jose Mourinho has made a point of it. But he may have made a point of it because of the fact that it is a big game. Now, Chris Hill says it's a storm in the teacup. Gareth Bale is not coming to Manchester United. And I still tend to agree with that. But Jose Mourinho is saying that I want him and I'm there for him if Real Madrid do not want him. It may be a little bit of mind games. It may be a little bit of causing trouble. But also, I think it could be the reason why Manchester United haven't chased after Ivan Perisic anymore. It may have got to a situation with Ivan Perisic where we thought, we have to pay 50 million for this guy. Why not invest a little bit more money, or 20, 30 million more, and try and get someone like Gareth Bale, who would bring money in terms of being a shirt sale commercially and everything. Now, obviously, it would be a difficult signing to make, but maybe Jose Mourinho is hoping that this one can happen. And I think you hear about the club being unsure about sending as big amount of money on someone like Ivan Perisic. I think the club's stance would completely change if it seemed that Gareth Bale was available. I think they would do all it takes to get Gareth Bale at Manchester United. I would love if he signed. Mark says he hopes to God Bale comes. But I have to say, I agree with you guys that are a bit sceptical. I don't actually think Gareth Bale is going to end up at Man United this summer. It will make the team news interesting tomorrow in terms of the UEFA Super Cup final. Is he going to be in Real Madrid starting 11? I'm sure that will be big news tomorrow. So we'll have to take a look. Now, we've got over 400 people in here. We've got around 70 likes. Bang that like button if you are in the house. Some of you geezers, there's one guy that's been thirsty as fuck, man. He's been commenting on every single stream that I've done today, saying, invite Zara. Chill out, man. Put a girl on the internet and use like a wild... Well, he does anyway. His injury record says Jack. I get it. I know he's played on average 30 games a season for Real Madrid, which isn't great given his age. But maybe Jose Mourinho would manage him. And if you have Gareth Bale and you manage his appearances and you manage his fitness record, because I mean, we've got Anthony Martial who can play on the left-hand side as well. That is where Gareth Bale would be occupying now. I think if we managed him right, we'd have a quality player on our hands. Taron says, how much would you pay for Gareth Bale? You guys get your comments in. How much do you think Gareth Bale is worth, given the fact that his injury record, he's played on average 30 games a season for Real Madrid, and obviously he's not as young as he once was. I mean, we all age, that's obvious. But despite his commercial factor, he is 28 years old now. Previously, when we've been chasing him, he's been, younger. So would his fee be 100 million plus? Given the way Neymar's move has been, and how important Gareth Bale has been to Real Madrid, do you guys think his fee would be over 100 million? Alfie says 80, Menez says 60, AG says 110, Mazai says 90 to 100, Vivian says 65, 75 mil says... Oh, it's moved now. Mason says 85 to 95, Alfie says 80, Max 75 mil says Laps, Mark says 90, 300 mil says Echo, Nail says 75. So a lot of varying estimates in terms of what his price tag would be. I think Manchester United would be happy to spend the money on him because of the commercial factor. He's a big name in terms of signing him. He'd be one of the biggest names in the Premier League if he arrived. And I'm sure we'd make a lot of money off him in that sense. He's also a fantastic player. I mean, despite his injury record at Real Madrid and the fact that he's been in and out of the side, he's been there for 4 seasons. Let me get up his stats. He's been there for 4 seasons and he's played 150 games and 67 goals. That's a fantastic record for Gareth Bale. He's played 100 league games in that time in 4 years, on average 25 out of 38 league games a season. Is that good enough as a fitness record for somebody that would cost us an awful lot of money? But then you look at his record, 67 goals in 150 games, is absolutely fantastic for Wales as well. And, he's a fantastic player. He's perfect for the Premier League as well. He's exactly what we need in terms of a wide player. So what are you thinking, guys? Get your comments in. Of course, whether it happens or not remains to be seen. And even if he does play tomorrow, he's not cup-tied for the Champions League anyway. So I'm not sure why Jose has made a point of that. But it could be a case that it's a little bit of mind games with Jose. MUFC Tom says, pay anything. I don't care. Not my money. I hear that, mate. Rather it be spent on players like Gareth Bale than sat in the pockets of the fucking Glazers. Over 430 people in. Thank you for joining us here on McKola TV. It's MUFC Transfer Talk number 51. If you were with us earlier for the Timothy FOSU MENSAH transfer news, then the news is that he's having a medical at Crystal Palace ahead of a season-long loan move. Now, obviously I've discussed Timothy FOSU MENSAH quite a lot previously. And I absolutely adore Timothy Fosu Mensah. But I said that Manchester United, if we haven't got plans to play him this season, we need to send him out on loan. Because he needs to get football, he needs to get minutes. He's too good to be sat on the bench again. And I think the way that he's been handled in terms of a season where he's been on the fringes, got to learn what Jose Mourinho wants from him, got to see what he demands from the club, trains with Jose Mourinho, had that pre-season with him as well. I think he's looking fit, he's looking raring to go. He played fantastically well against Real Madrid and featured well throughout the Premier League the pre-season campaign. And I think going to Crystal Palace now is probably the right time for him at 19 years old. He needs first team football. He needs minutes under his belt. He needs that experience. You can tell he's a very, very raw talent. He's a fantastic talent. He's got pace. He can tackle. He can shoot. He can score. He can do all of that. But not only that, he needs to get a little bit of maturity to his game. Polish that diamond a little bit. And I think he can do that fantastically well at Crystal Palace. If you look at Crystal Palace's side, they've got Johan Cabaye, Christian Benteke, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Jason Punch and Wilfred Zaha. And Timothy Fosu Mensah being added into that mix. I think it's a great mix of players, and I think he'll play some good football with them. Playing under Frank de Boer, his Dutch compatriot, somebody that was also at Ajax and is well schooled to the way Ajax have schooled Timothy Fosu Mensah. I think he'll be well aware of his talents and how good he is. And I think he'll get the best out of him. At least I hope he does. Because if Timothy Fosu Mensah is going to be making a move, then I want him to get the best loan move possible. Because this is a player that could have a big, big future at Manchester United. I think he could be a fantastic player for the club. I think he could really, really come on in terms of... when you look at Antonio Valencia, he's going to be 33 years old next season. When you look at that central defensive midfield position as well, Michael Carrick 36, Nemanja Matic, our new signing 29. In a few years, we're going to have to replace those players. And Timothy Fosu Mensah is someone coming through that can play in the central defensive midfield position, that can play in that right back position. And Crystal Palace are likely to play a back three, back five as well. And if that happens, then we're going to have a Timothy Fosu Mensah returning to Manchester United that may be like the Andreas Pereira that has returned this summer. One that looks like he's ready to demand a spot and demand a position in the first team squad and to be getting minutes with the football team and with the football club. Because Andreas Pereira's come back and he's looked like the penny's dropped with him. He's ready to go. And Jose Mourinho has a little bit more trust in him. Now that's not to say that Jose Mourinho doesn't have trust in Timothy Fosu Mensah. By all reports, Jose Mourinho thinks that Timothy Fosu Mensah is a fantastic player and is a talented player. But we need Fosu Mensah to get experience. And whether we can afford him to give that to him at this moment in time remains to be seen. I thought we could have, to be totally honest, with the amount of football that we do have. But could we have offered him 20 plus appearances this season? Realistically, probably not. And therefore, this move probably ticks all the boxes in that Timothy Fosu Mensah will get first team football in the Premier League at a very good level. I doubt Crystal Palace will be battling against relegation, although you never know with these things. But Fosu Mensah playing at that level, I hope he gets playing week in, week out. And if that happens, happy fucking days. And I really do hope Fosu Mensah comes back to Manchester United raring to go. Somebody else that has sealed a loan move today was Cameron Borthwick-Jackson, who has ended up moving to Leeds United. Now, a lot of United fans on social media were fuming because, obviously, Leeds scum, Leeds United, they're our rivals, even though they're not in the Premier League still. Everybody hates them. So the fact that he's gone to one of our rivals, it wound up a few United fans. But look, I think all in all, it's a good move for Cameron Borthwick-Jackson. He should get regular football at Leeds United. But we also saw how his last game went, his last loan move went at Wolverhampton. It didn't go great. I think they had a change in manager partway through the season. And Cameron Borthwick-Jackson didn't get football. In the end, he came back to Manchester United. He couldn't play in the Premier League because we couldn't register him because of the way he had left Wolves. And we could only play him in the 23s, which was why he wasn't used on the day when we played Crystal Palace, which would have been a great opportunity for him under Jose. Nevertheless, He's now going to Leeds United, who'll get regular football and playing regular football in the Championship. I hope the loan move goes well for him. And you never know, could he return? There's a lot of competition for that left-back spot. Jose looks like he's going to be giving Luke Shaw another opportunity, which is great news from my opinion. And with Matteo Darmian, Marcus Rojo, Daley Blind, we have other players that can too play in that left-back position that are going to be itching for games. And part of the squad, and part of a squad that's going to have a lot of games, but you know, we're not going to fit all of the players in, and they're going to need to get games here and there, probably in various positions. So interesting with the left back spot. We've also got Demi Mitchell coming through too. Keegan says, how concrete is my source for the Bale move? Keegan, I have not confirmed Gareth Bale is coming to Manchester United. I haven't said I've got a source. I don't know what channel you're mistaking this for, but you found the wrong channel. But nevertheless, Jose Mourinho himself has been talking about Gareth Bale in his As I was saying, this isn't my source. This isn't a source that I've got. It is simply Jose Mourinho has been talking about Gareth Bale in his press conference. He's been talking about the man himself in his press conference, and he has been saying that if Real Madrid do not want Gareth Bale, then he's there for them with open arms. He is there for them with open arms. So then, is this putting the pressure on Zinedine Zidane to put Gareth Bale in his starting lineup? Is it mind games from Jose Mourinho, or is it just genuine honesty? Now, Jose Mourinho is somebody that often, very rarely talks about other teams' players if they're contracted to a club unless the move's confirmed. He always says it. I don't want to talk about players. They play for that club. It would be disrespectful. You hear him say that an awful lot, Jose Mourinho. So it's interesting that he is coming out and saying this. Arpan, I am not at the game tomorrow. I am at the game on Sunday. So make sure you check my content out from Old Trafford on that. Also, later on this week, I will be doing my Premier League preview. So I'll be predicting the Premier League table ahead of the Premier League opener on the weekend. That'll be up on Friday. I've got plenty more stuff coming for you as well. Tomorrow, I've got my live preview for the Super Cup final between Manchester United and Real Madrid. So I'll be doing that in the afternoon. And then I'll be live for Full Time Devils as well. I've got more content coming for you throughout the week as well in the build-up to the Premier League season, a West Ham preview, all that good stuff. Where will the fan cams be on Sunday? The fan cams will be, I think, in the usual spot near the Sir Alex Ferguson way signs, just opposite Sir Alex Ferguson's stand. Brandon says, what's the news on Gareth Bale? Now, the news on Gareth Bale is what Jose Mourinho has been saying in his press conference. So this isn't reports or this isn't anything like that. This is Jose Mourinho saying in his press conference that if Gareth Bale is not wanted by him, then he will, by Real Madrid, then he will be there for him with open arms. He also says there will be likely to be opposition for his signature, but he's there for him with open arms. Chris Hill cannot wait for the new season. Marco says Sunday cannot get here soon enough. Paul Merson thinks United will finish fourth. That's interesting. Bale will play, trust me, says Anthony Martial. Akshay says Marshall, Mickey, Mata, Lingard, Rashford, Pereira. Do we need Bale? No, Marshall is way better than Bale. Even Bale is not interested in returning. Thank God life resumes back to normal this coming week. Football season is back, says Lufty. Thoughts on a Sergi Roberto rumour, says Juan Iniesta. Interesting to hear them coming out of Spain that Manchester United are in for Sergi Roberto. Do Barcelona really need to sell players, considering that they have lost they've lost Neymar and got in £200 million? Do they really need to raise funds? I'm not too sure. I'm sure they'll be signing players before they're selling players. David thinks we're going to win the league. Will Madrid try and get David De Gea again for Bale, says Kane versus Predator. Well, given Jose Mourinho has categorically said that David De Gea will not leave Manchester United this summer, I would be surprised if he did leave, to be totally honest with you. I've kind of get the feeling that De Gea's happy now and he's focused on staying at Manchester United. Of course, that could change if Gareth Bale wasn't wanted by them. But I'm sure if Gareth Bale wasn't wanted by Real Madrid, they would want to bring in a transfer fee. They want to sign Kylian Mbappe. They need to raise money. They'll want to bring in a transfer fee. So yeah, Ulrich says almost 500 people in that live. Let's get liking. Yes, we've got over 200 likes, but hit that like button if you haven't already, and of course, hit that subscribe button as well. We are in the race for 40,000 subscribers here on Adam McKola TV. Now we are just over 1,600 away from the target. We want to hit that target by Sunday, by that game, before the game kicks off against West Ham. We want to hit the target of 40k now. I think we'll come up just short, but if we can get to 39k and be very close to 40k, I will be happy, and I'm sure with your help, we will do that here on Adam McKola TV. Ulrich, thank you for getting involved. Jonathan says Mata's getting a new contract and would like that to be the case. We've got 500 people watching now. Thank you all for getting involved here on Adam McKola TV. This is another MUFC transfer talk. It is number 51. We had number 50 earlier on in regards to that Timbo news. Yes, it's got in for me, but I think it's the best for all concerned. Manny Solcal, how are you doing? You are a name I recognise as well. Jim Jimerson says, Fosu, no. Abhishek says, Adam, what a legend. Thank you, mate. What do you think of Guillermo Varela's replacement for Valencia? Says Abidor. Unlikely, as it looks like he's about to return to Penarol, his former club in the Uruguayan league. Sal Mata says, James, that is blasphemy, mate. There will be none of that around here. Kane, thank you for the comment. Kendale, thank you. Brandon, Mohammed, Brock, Anshuman says, news on Aurier. I don't think there's been any latest news on his court case, to be totally honest with you. He had his court case today. 101 great goals. We're saying Man United could lose out on Serge Aurier to Inter Milan. And the Mirror reported earlier that United had agreed terms with him, but didn't mention anything about his court case. So we need to see what's going on with his court case before we find out what's going on with his future in terms of where he can and cannot move to. That is before you get to the fact of whether Manchester United are interested in him or not. Close to 250 likes. Can we get 250 in the next couple of seconds? Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Let's see if we can do it. We're going to keep this live stream rolling as well. We are talking transfers. We are talking MUFC transfer talk. We're talking Gareth Bale, Timmy FOSU MENSAH, Cameron Borthwick Jackson, and all sorts. Get your comment in right now. Cristiano Ronaldo, by the way, who was expected to miss the UEFA Super Cup final because of the fact he has joined up with the squad this season for pre-season tour, has travelled with the Real Madrid squad to Macedonia. It is being reported in Spain, though, that he will only play 30 minutes, so I doubt he'll play 90 of the game. Yes, Vivan, how you doing? Denchman Joe is back. Hero Pogba's back. Josh MUFC is back. Cyber Wes is back. Siam is back. He says, are you sure about Bale? Well, the one thing I am sure about is that my title is correct. Mourinho wants Bale. That is what it says right beneath my face. And that is what it says on my thumbnail. And that is because that is what Jose Mourinho has been saying in his press conference ahead of the UEFA Super Cup final. Is it mind games by Mourinho, or is he just being totally honest? If Real Madrid do not want Gareth Bale, he's there for him with open arms. I would love Gareth Bale at Manchester United, although I have to say I would then be worried about Anthony Martial. Of course, Gareth Bale has his injury troubles as well. But one thing would be sure, Gareth Bale would light up this Manchester United side, and it would probably be an addition that would turn us into Premier League winners, I think. It would be a fantastic signing. And if we got Lukaku, Bale, Matic, Lindelof in this summer, say it again, that would be an absolutely outstanding window. Do I think it will happen? No, I don't. Abhishek says, Adam and Timothy FOSU MENSAH, a better love story than Twilight. I hear that, mate. I absolutely hear that. And you bang on. Because me and Timbo will never die. Where would Bale play, says Sam? On the left, surely. He could also be occupied as a number 9 as well, when Lukaku's not played there. I think he could play anywhere. Ulrich's got to turn in now, so good night, Ulrich. Timbo would have carried Ronnie in his pockets, says Marco. Good, true that. Thanks for the shout on my fresh trim. Nice one, guys. Had it done on Friday. How tall is Bale, Adam? Says somebody. Let me check. I don't know. I don't know how tall people are. He's 6 foot, so that means I'm taller than Gareth Bale. He's already losing his hair as well, bless him, at 28 years old. He is 2 months younger than me, which is absolutely incredible. I wish I had his bank account though. Imagine that. See you later, Epic DHZZ. Injury prone Bale, better than a fully fit Perisic, says Anshuman. It also means that Anthony Martial will probably get more minutes too. Who is our second left back, says David Dua. If Luke Shaw was our first left back, I would say Daley Blind. With Darmian being our second right back now that Timbo is on his way to Crystal Palace. Now that does hurt me to say Timothy FOSU MENSAH is leaving Manchester United for Crystal Palace. But let me tell you this. It's for the best. It is for the best. If you love them, let them go and they'll come back to you if it's meant to be. And Timothy FOSU MENSAH, I will guarantee you, will come back to Manchester United. He will come back to Manchester United, will Timothy FOSU MENSAH, and I cannot wait for that to happen, because when he comes back, he's going to have minutes under his belt. He's going to be a more mature player than what he is now. He's going to be a little smoother around the edges. He's going to have that raw, like you love that rawness in his game, but you need a little bit of maturity with it. And he's going to be ready, I think, to challenge Antonio Valencia, who's going to be 33 at that time, for his spot at right back, or even challenge at central defensive midfielder, a position which I think he could blossom into one of the best in that position. He has potential. He has great ability. I just really hope that this move to Ajax goes to plan. Frank de Boer's there, so that gives me a little bit of hope. It's better than him going to somewhere there where, you know, he's not going to get game time, or he's playing for a manager who just likes to hoof the ball. I remember seeing Giuseppe Rossi going to Newcastle, and it absolutely broke my heart to see him get treated like that. So I want FOSU MENSAH to go out and do well. I don't want him to do an Adnan Januzaj or anything like that. I hope Crystal Palace have a good season. They're now going to be everyone's second team, aren't they? Timothy FOSU MENSAH FC, we're changing their name to right about now as well. Timothy FOSU MENSAH is leaving Manchester United. It's not official yet, but he is undergoing a medical with Crystal Palace ahead of a season-long loan move. Jose Mourinho has been talking about Gareth Bale in his pre-match press conference ahead of the UEFA Super Cup final. He's basically saying, if Gareth Bale, you're not wanted by Real Madrid, I want you. Maybe he's trying to turn Gareth Bale's head just before a big game against them, because without Cristiano Ronaldo, who's unlikely to start for Real Madrid, Gareth Bale is probably their next biggest player. And if his head's been turned a little bit and he's not quite at the races, then United could have a big chance in this game. I'm looking forward to this game, you know. I am looking forward to this game against Real Madrid. It's a nice little game to whet the appetite ahead of the Premier League campaign kicking off on Sunday. Hopefully with a game that, look, it's a glorified friendly, I know, a little bit like the Charity Shield, although I'd regard a European trophy a little bit higher than the Charity Shield, but it's a game that gets Manchester United into that competitive way of football, playing football, thinking competitively, playing a match that you really want to win, you don't want to lose. Everything's going to be on the line, I feel. And although we'll be giving minutes to Matic and we'll be trying to get his match fitness up to speed, Jose Mourinho said he's not quite there just yet, which you'd expect given the fact he hasn't had a pre-season by that 45 minutes. Although it is a glorified pre-season, this game will get the team switched on in terms of match sharpness and that competitive edge, that competitive mentality before we go into that West Ham game against a West Ham side that are going to be rejuvenated by a few good signings. Can we get this stream to 300 likes? We're 15 likes away from 300 likes. Can we get it to 300 likes before I head off this live stream? We have been live now for over 30 minutes. Thank you all for joining us here on Adam McKola TV. Gorab says, please share the news about Sergi Roberto. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, why is everyone mentioning Sergi Roberto in the comments? Why is everyone mentioning it? It's because there's been reports recently that Manchester United made a £36 million bid for Sergi Roberto. They were made in the Mirror and things like that, and over in Spain. But ESPN have earlier reported that Barcelona midfielder Sergi Roberto is not for sale, and the club do not fear losing him despite interest from Manchester United and Chelsea, sources have told ESPN FC. Mundo Deportivo reported that United have made a bid for the Spain international, while sources told ESPN last month that he was also a Chelsea target. However, Barcelona have no intention of letting Roberto leave Following the departure of Neymar to PSG in a world record deal, that transfer was possible because of the buyout clause in Neymar's contract, and United and Chelsea, like PSG, would avoid having to negotiate with Barca if they paid Roberto's €40 million release clause. But Barca are not worried about the possibility of that happening and have been assured that the player has no plans to quit the new camp. Instead, he is in line for a new contract that would see his buyout clause increase substantially. Now, what it seems like to me is that since this move of Neymar to Paris Saint-Germain, where his release clause was broken by the Paris Saint-Germain French side, I was meant to say. Even though that has happened, I think because that's happened, then the newspapers have then gone, oh, okay, let's look at all these players' release clauses at Barcelona. Who has a release clause that is quite low? Oh, Sergio Roberto's release clause is €40 million. I know. We can make a rumour. United are in for him. So that is one thing that could be happening here. The press are just jumping on it and making it appear like Manchester United are in for him, when matter of fact, we are not. We have hit over 300 likes, so thank you very much for doing that. We are 2 subscribers away from 38,400 subscribers. We are 1,602 subscribers away from that target of 40,000. Guys, I know 2 of you in here are not subscribed, so bang that subscribe button right now. We've got 500 people in here. I know at least half of you are not subscribed, so bang that subscribe button right now. We have regular content coming up for you, and I've got more content coming your way in the next 24 hours. We will have the Manchester United vs Real Madrid preview again ahead of the UEFA Super Cup final. We will have reaction to that UEFA Super Cup final, and we'll have much more around Adam McKola TV. There's so much more coming ahead of this new season as well. I am so excited for this new season, both on and off the pitch as a Manchester United fan. On the pitch, I feel like Manchester United are set up to have a very good season this campaign. And off the pitch, I'm excited to bring more content around the thing that we love most, Manchester United and football. But not only that, much more content as well. So thank you all for joining us here on Adam McKola TV. Thank you for liking the video. If you haven't, hit that like button. Thank you for subscribing. If you're a new subscriber, old subscriber, love you all. And thank you for joining us here again in another MUFC transfer talk. I've been Adam McKola. You have been legends. Daniel, thank you. Harrell, Josh, William, Mohammed, Lutfi, Tesso. Thank you all for getting involved. Denchman Joe as well. If I missed your name out, I do apologise. But I love you anyway. See you later, guys.